All right, guys. Big news came out. See, was on Reddit. I was on Reddit earlier, and I saw something interesting. And I'm on the H3 production subreddit. They have a lot of good posts sometimes, and Liver King came out on the Leftovers, Ethan and Hassan Piker's podcast. Talked about how he was all natural, right? And it certainly seemed like very everybody was very suspicious of that claim. Even I thought I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but he is 43 years old and he's really really jacked, like comic book drawing type of vibe with this guy. Like he's just so like toned and like very sculpted, right? Like impossibly sculpted for a 43-year-old man. Even though he does all those exercises, it's just gonna be crazy to be that physically, um, looking so physically. I'll just say it's physically beautiful because honestly, he has an amazing body, right? But that body is made with help, and it turns out that Liver King was exposed. Some of his emails got leaked, and apparently he spends around 12K's worth of HGH, human growth hormones. So I mean that's why he's so big. Human growth makes you grow, right? That's basically in the name. 3 injections per day while also promoting his holistic lifestyle. But the problem is that he always said he was natural. And if he would have said up front, hey man, you know what? I'm not. But we have all this footage of him and going around every show saying that he's a natural person. He took his test, right? Like to show that he is a naturally equipped, not cheating or any kind of form. And now he was exposed. I went through the what's it called, the Barstool Sports, because they also have had him, and here's a good clip of him doing quickly quickly just
This is
denouncing
good. I love it.
denouncing that he's doing steroids.
All these ridiculous accusations. People say I take PEDs. People say I have ab implants.
Wait. Can we be honest? Like you definitely take PEDs.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be on for the. I'll be
All right,
honest.
here we go.
I take PEDs.
Yeah.
I prioritize, execute, and
Oh,
dominate
got you.
every fucking morning. Every
We
morning.
got you.
Let
Right there.
I
me
take
finish this.
PEDs. I pray every day.
So we both fucking take PEDs.
Here we go.
The whole world should
I
take
take
PEDs.
PEDs. I'm on Winstrol.
Don't know much a whole lot about that. But,
don't know that. I don't know
people
what that
say the
is.
same thing. I got ab implants, right? Or ab etching. I got hair.
You can get ab implants?
Looking at ab implants right now, they look pretty good.
I might have to get
Wait,
it.
the third image result on ab implants is you.
This is good. I love it.
All right, so he said right there that he did not. He just made a joke about it, dismissed it, right? And now we have Derek. His YouTube channel is called More Plates, More Dates. He covers, fighters, athletes, whatever, fitness, personalities that he assumes what they might be taking to look like that or give off that certain body type. He himself has used steroids in the past, and he has experience with that. And he makes a really long video that I'm just gonna skip through to the most important parts I think that are relevant, and which is the email part, because we already know that he's always gonna deny being being asked that, oh, do you take steroids? He's gonna say no, of course not. I'm natural, right? So now we get to the email part, and Derek does a beautiful job, probably even better than me, to explain the email, because I try to find those, and this is
before we open
better-
the contest results.
this is a better version that I found online. So let's watch that. Trying to make this as quick as possible, give you good information about it. And
It
and if
gives
you like
a lot of context that then makes
if you like, then you could just see more plates, more dates. The Liver King lie. All right, let's start it.
sense of the blood work thereafter. So this is the first email, June 29th, 2021, which is notable that this is actually almost 2 months before he started posting as Liver King on social media. And yet he seemingly filled out this contact form identifying himself as Brian Johnson Liver King in brackets with an official email, liverking@ancestralsupplements.com. Like, this is very much his brand domain that he is emailing through, and his official email address, presumably from his company email address. So no attempt at trying to claim natural or anything, like very, very transparent in this email about what he needs to get out of this, what his goals are over the next year, and also identifying himself literally as like he was on a contact form, presumably of some website, to contact this guy, and wrote Brian Johnson, and in brackets, like literally identified himself as Liver King. So super interesting stuff, and really insightful as to what went into the strategy behind this whole brand from inception, because this is pre-social media push, keep in mind. So stoked, thank you. What's a good date and time for you to have our consultation? I live in the Republic of Texas, Houston. So I am CST, I believe that's 12 hours behind you. This is an absolute priority for me. So I will cancel almost anything planned to make this happen with you. My preferred times are 7 a.m., 8 a.m., or 9 a.m. on Wednesday CST, but you could easily do 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. almost any evening. And your time, I believe that's 7 p.m., 8 p.m., or 9 p.m. on Thursday, or 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. almost any morning of the week. Please check my math on that. Since that's outside of your regular hours, I'm happy to compensate for the trouble. So let's dig right in. As it relates to my goals, I'm the face of several brands, including Ancestral Supplements, which is the handle he used here from his official company email. And I've just hired a team to build the Liver King brand with the goal of 1 million followers by March 2022. That's like wildly specific, and I believe he actually did it before that date, which is crazy because he had 0 followers in June of 2021. So within less than a year, he knew he was going to get 1 million followers all around this brand with the intention of blowing it up from day one. I'm pouring ridiculous resources into making this happen, including hosting a video guy that will be living at my guest house and a film crew that will be filming 7 days a month. Stated, I have to stay in great fucking shape year round. Maybe take 1 to 2.
You hear that, guys? This was all calculated. So Liver King, once he saw that, he got an immediate jump of viewers and followers, then he just jumped on that ship. And then, hey, make me the basically the handsome Squidward of YouTube or TikTok, basically.
2 months off per year. And when he says off per year, like, he's very much implying hormone use. Here's a clip of where I'm at currently. So this is a link to an Instagram post. Ancestral Supplements, May 8th, 2021. The keys to living an optimal life. And Brian the Liver King Johnson. Okay, so he was identifying himself as a Liver King for a while, but this is before his actual Liver King social media was created. And he looks pretty yoked here. Like, he looks sick still. Presumably, that is mainly what this, coaching was really about, was to get as saucy as fucking hell, essentially, within reason of not killing yourself and pushing your brand in as viral of a way as possible. I've been working out for 35 years. I know how to train, eat, rest, and recover. I even have a hard shell hyperbaric chamber at my house. But as I've reached my mid-40s, it's getting harder and the back fat fucking kills me. To support these exhaustive efforts, I've recently started taking Omnitrope. So if you guys don't know Omnitrope, this is pharmacy-grade human growth hormone. The brand, it is created by the pharmaceutical company Sandoz, I believe it is. The 5.8 milligram vials from Empower Pharmacy, $11,000 per month for my new dose, which is 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month. So these 5.8 milligram vials, he's using 4 vials per week, 16 vials per month. What is that in international units? Most of you guys are probably more familiar with HGH dosages in international units. In general, for somatropin, recombinant HGH, 1 milligram equals 3 international units. So for each 5.8 milligram vial of Omnitrope, that has the equivalent of approximately 17.4 IU somatropin. So he mentioned 4 vials per week, 16 vials
I do not know what he's saying, to be honest.
a month. I believe he mentioned in his email here, 16 vials a month. So that is going to be roughly 69.6 international units of recombinant human growth hormone per week, which is roughly 10 international units per day, which is like a fucking really, really high, super expensive dosage that, to be honest, I know bodybuilders who compete at the Open Mr. Olympia who use less pharma grade GH than that. Like that's how high of a dose that actually is. So he says, I don't know if this shit is gross.
So are those vials like injected, or is like I don't know if it's pill form. Probably not, right? It's gonna have to be going into the blood system, the bloodstream. I don't know. The only time I've done steroids was this one time I had an ear infection, and so my doctor told me, here, I'll just give you something for it. And I searched like the name for it. You know how it has like a complicated name or whatever. And I searched it, and it said it was a steroid, and he gave me some antibiotics. So I remember trying steroids, and they do make you feel really good. But of course they do shrink your bowels temporarily, of course. But yeah, it's just the only downfall for it. I only used it for 2 weeks, so it wasn't really that much. It was just nothing basically. And it was medical. I'm not even, look at me. I'm a chubby dude. I'm not doing steroids. I mean, even still, the chubby dudes have been exposed to do steroids, but I mean, it just depends on how you use steroids, I guess.
Mostly underdose or what, but I've been taking 2 vials per week and my IGF is only at 139. See recent labs below. My doctor told me that I could double it in an effort to get to the upper 200s, low 300s. She thinks I could be a hyper non-responder. I'm wondering if taking a fuckload of other peptides could be confounding the results and possibly interfering with the efficacy. For instance, here's what I'm currently taking. So here's this stack, IGF-1 LR3 presumably. I've been taking this for a year. CJC with IMAP, been taking this for a year. So here I'm assuming he's talking about CJC 1295 drug affinity complex. Like there is a difference.
He's taking 7 things, man. 7 things, dude. What the heck?
Difference between there's mod GRF 1-29, which is like a shorter acting. We'll get into it later as far as like what GHRPs are, GHRHs, etc. But this is like a peptide combination, CJC 1295 with DAC. I'm assuming he's talking about with ipamorelin, I'm assuming, not IMAP. I'm sure he's just hastily writing this, hence why there's like missing shit. But CJC with IPAM is a very, very common combination. Been taking this for a year. Ibutamoren, also known as MK677, orally active GH secretagogue and ghrelin receptor agonist. Been taking this for 2 months. Omnitrope, human growth hormone pharmagrade, been taking this for 6 weeks. Testosterone cypionate, 0.6 cc per week, cruise dose. So that, presumably would be 120 milligrams per week if you do 0.6 times 1 with a 200 milligram per milliliter concentration. 120 milligrams per week of test sip is not that high. Deca, nandrolone decanoate, 0.6 cc per week. Been taking this for 3 weeks, so 3 weeks of 120 milligrams per week. Pharmagrade, of course. Winstrol, 50 milligrams a day. Just started this, been taking this for 3 weeks, and this is all presumably pharmagrade through the pharmacy mentioned and having a legitimate prescription. I know it to be the case that all of these are prescribable, even Winstrol, which sounds fucking baffling. And does it actually have like a clinical application that makes sense? Very rarely, but presumably he has a script for it. I'm doubting he's using UGL Winstrol just randomly as his choice of compound. There are fewer compounds to choose from, like you're not gonna get Trenbolone through a fucking pharmacy, but Winstrol, one of the available orals that presumably he arrived on as the one to add in. So anyways, he is on all this stuff. My blood sugar every morning, it's around 74, and insulin are great because I'm metabolically fit as fuck. Or so I think, ... Some doctors think my insulin is too low, but I think it's because I'm very insulin sensitive because I work out like a fucking maniac. I train twice a day, 6 days a week, and walk 10 to 12 miles on my rest day. Can you help me dial in the PED and growth hormone protocol to maximize results? You will see that my healthy labs back on May 12th look pretty good, except IGF-1 and GH are always non-existent. My recent labs show some serious concerns, probably the Winstrol, but we're discontinuing that in 2 weeks anyways. SHBG, lipids, estradiol are all fucked. but aside from my joints, I feel pretty good. I'm 5'7", lean, 43 years old. Would like your coaching for the next 12 months and happy to pay in advance. Let's go. And a bunch of redactions of a bunch of personal information. And then his signature, Brian Johnson, Liver King, owner, Ancestral Supplements. We believe in the ways of our ancestors. We are descendants of these milliliter longitudinal data points here that show a trend upwards from May to mid-July. States his blood work, etc. And there's more data points too for the IGF-1, but this is where he's at from, he's been trying to get it up for a while with increases. Answers below in red. Front and back pictures of what you look like right now. 4 quarters. I live on 15 acres on the lake and have everyone come to me. My rank is at 7. So it's kind of interesting because I wonder, some of the stuff I've never seen him have, like 60 grams of dextrose powder. Never seen that before. Him supplementing with creatine is really interesting given how much red meat he eats. 10 grams, 8 hours of legit sleep. So this is really interesting to me because the guy, preaches sleep hygiene, dialed in sleep, and you would think is like the 69.4 international units per week, whatever that was, so roughly 10, which we'll get into liver health later, downstream IGF-1 conversion, inflammatory states, his blood work, etc. And there's more data points too for the IGF-1, but this is where he's at from, he's been trying to get it up for a while with peptides to increase his endogenous levels. He used literal IGF-1 LR3 to try and stimulate receptor activity through that vector.
So I'm gonna stop it right there with the whole steroid stuff because I think that was the highlight that I wanted to make. But he does go on to explain Liver King's what is he like his daily routine, right, of eating whatever he's teaching, right, like the raw meat and the heavy exercise and the sleeping on something flat or something, right? So then he goes on to read on further about how his routine is really kind of not that realistic towards what he's actually doing in real life, and he's added extra things to his diet like this right here.
Conjugate and customize the program as needed. I take the first dose of Omnitrope right before this workout. 9 a.m. Eat meal 1. 45-gram protein shake with cold mineral water, 60 grams dextrose, 100 grams whole Greek yogurt, 30 grams maple syrup, 4 farm fresh eggs, 5 grams creatine, 10 grams collagen, 30 grams almond butter, 20 grams ghee, 5 grams red bean salt, 2 ounces of red meat. So it's kind of interesting because I wonder, some of the stuff I've never seen him have, like 60 grams of dextrose powder, never seen that before. Him supplementing with creatine is really interesting given how much red meat he eats. 10 grams of collagen powder, presumably. Interesting stuff. 9:15 to 1 p.m. meetings and phone calls with the occasional nap from 12 to 1. 1:30 p.m. workout number 2. This is Olympic lifting, skills and Metcon. I take the second dose of Omnitrope right before this workout. 2:30 p.m. eat meal 2. 45-gram protein shake with cold mineral water. 60 grams of dextrose again. 100 grams whole Greek yogurt. 60 grams maple syrup. 4 farm fresh eggs. 5 grams creatine, 10 grams collagen, 30 grams almond butter, 20 grams ghee, 5 grams red bean salt, 2 to 4 ounces of raw liver, 30 grams of raw bone marrow. 3 to 4:30, meetings and phone calls. 4:30, eat meal number 3, 12 ounce of full fat red meat. For example, ribeye, ground wagyu, or short ribs, and 100 to 200 grams sweet potatoes. 5:30 to 6:30, phone calls, emails, meetings. 6:30 to 7, walking with wife. 7 to 7:30, emails. 7:30 to 8:30, spend time with the boys. Usually go to the theater room to watch a Marvel movie or play games. 8:30 p.m., I take the third dose of Omnitrope. Wait 30, and by the way, like each dose he's taking essentially is 3.33 international units, presumably, per shot. Wait 30 minutes after the Omnitrope, have a 30-gram protein shake and 2 ounces of red meat and get ready for bed. 9 p.m., bedtime. How many hours of sleep do you get every day? My sleep is not great. I go to sleep no problem, but wake up a lot from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. This is why I stay in bed 9 to 10 hours a night so that I can usually get around 8 hours of legit sleep. So this is really interesting to me because the guy, preaches sleep hygiene, dialed in sleep, and you would think is like the, representation of pinnacle of lifestyle, behavioral, etc. modifications to have this perfectly dialed in, but yet he is waking up a lot, 2 to 6 a.m., having issues sleeping. He stays in bed 10 hours a night to get 8 hours of legit sleep. And we'll get into his blood work later, why I think that to be partially the case. Who knows if it's from lying on fucking wooden floor or whatever. But anyways, current body weight and body fat percentage, if you can do a test like the in-body machine. Otherwise, we can always go by pictures. 200 pounds, I'd guess my body fat is around 10%. Do you feel you had stubborn fat areas that didn't go away? If so, what areas? Yes, all caps. Back fat, love handles, nowhere else. Do you start to hold water during the day after a few meals with carbs and or about 1 hour after training, look leaner in the morning, leaner but puffy face, or look pretty flat in the morning and look better after a few meals? I pretty much look the same. Which diet or foods you're currently eating, which foods you don't like, and do you have any food allergies? What food do you feel you respond good to bodybuilding wise, and which do you find hard to digest that are usually used by bodybuilders? I fucking love my foods. I pretty much eat keto carnivore unless I've just worked out. If I've earned the carbs, I will eat 100 or so right after a workout. My blood sugar is usually 70 to 84 every morning. If I need to lean out, I stop eating post-workout carbs for 4 to 6 weeks and I get shredded. I respond well to raw eggs, raw liver, raw meat, and dairy. I don't eat any vegetable oils. So you can at least give him kudos that he's like reasonably following the shit that he preaches. He has some interesting additions that he does not really discuss, but other than that, like it's pretty, you know, he definitely believes in what he's preaching with exception of the hormone part, which is a pretty fucking massive piece. But anyways, did you ever do a food allergy test? If so, what are you allergic to and which foods do you avoid? Not applicable. Do you?
All right. I mean, that's enough to, get the gist of it. If you guys want to listen to the rest, this guy's called More Plates, More Dates. Go watch that if you're interested in hearing more about it. All right, guys. I'll see you next time.